Good morning, Rajit Gupta sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes, at 10 o'clock. We should start now, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam.
Bhanupriya?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
You can start.
A well-determined day is the base for a successful future. I believe that by participating in this webinar, we are in the right place and the right time. Good morning, Your Highness, Excellencies, Sirs, Madam. It's my pleasure to be a moderator for this webinar, and I wish you all a pleasant day. On this auspicious occasion, I would like to welcome you all for All India Faculty Development Program on Emergency Trends in Online Education, organized by Trinity College for Women, Arts and Science, Namakkal, Tamil Nadu, and Edgram India Foundation, Kochi, Kerala, in collaboration with UGC Human Resource Development Center, Bhagatpur Singh, Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Haryana. This is indeed a precious moment to recall the past, thank for what we are today, and to keep ourselves motivated and energized in the years to come. Now, I would like to call Ms. S. Poornima, Assistant Professor in English, one of the conveners of this program, to deliver her welcome address. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhanupriya, ma'am. Good morning to everyone over here. A warm welcome to all of you to this 9th day of All India Level Faculty Development Program. I am overwhelmed to welcome our first session Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Rajit Gupta sir, who represents for the state of Mizoram. He served as a director of NIT Mizoram, and he is the chairman of Mizoram State Center, the Institution of Engineers India. Welcome you, sir. I also welcome the Chief Guest of Session 2, Professor Dr. Nigamananda Das, who represents for the state of Nagaland. He was a Dean of School of Humanities and Education and former Head of Department of English, Nagaland University. Welcome you, sir. I extend my cordial welcome to my colleagues, and it is a pleasure for me to welcome all the participants from all over India who gathered here on behalf of Trinity College for Women, Namakkal, and BBS MV University, Haryana. Once again, I welcome you all for this intellectual gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Where focus goes, energy flows. Welcoming is the part of our tradition. I would really like to invite Ms. S. Malarkodi, Assistant Professor in English, Trinity College for Women, to inaugurate the well-being, our Honorable Chief Guest. Welcome you, ma'am. Welcome you, Malarkodi, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Success is not failure. Ma'am, my voice is audible or not, ma'am?
We can
Yes, you are
hear.
audible, Malak. Audible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It's my immense pleasure to introduce the chief guest, Dr. Rajit Gupta, who is the professor of the Department of Mechanical Engineering since 1996. At present, he is working as a senior most HAG professor of NIT Silchar and also served as a director of 3 NITs such as NIT Srinagar, NIT Silchar, NIT Mizoram. His areas of research are thermal fluid flow, two-phase flow, non-conventional energy, CFD, low velocity wind turbines, etc. He has published more than 180 research papers and written many book chapters. He chaired various conferences, both national and international level, and delivered keynote address. He received many awards such as Education Leadership Award, Rajiv Gandhi Education Excellence Award. He has received a scholarship for PhD from Indian Institute of Technology in Delhi. He has guided PhD scholars and MTech students. He is a member of various professional bodies. On account of academic purpose, he has traveled many USA, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, etc. He is the chairman of Mizoram State Center, the institution of engineers in India. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It presents the wise choice of many alternative choice, and no change determines your destiny. Such a great personality we have today for this session. Definitely, this session will be informative and useful to all. Once again, I welcome our chief guest. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Stars shine at night. Some stars shine at bright daylight. It's my pleasure to welcome one such star, Professor Rajat Gupta, Director of National Institute of Technology, Mizoram, to deliver his valuable address on the topic, Challenges of Effective Teaching for the 21st Century Generation. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you to all of you for your nice words. Good morning and namaskar to all of you. I'm here this morning mainly because of Mrs. S. Poornima, FDP coordinator of this program. She contacted me. That's why I am here. I'm so glad that I am here amongst all of you. It's a rare opportunity on my part to interact with all my colleagues across the country. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. I have decided to talk about challenges of, as she has mentioned, that in the 21st century, challenges are many. And we teachers are to be equipped to face these challenges, to make our 21st century. So initially I thought of talking about something else, but later on I decided that this could be the better topic to discuss. That's why I've decided to talk about the 21st century challenges, how teachers will face the challenge and how we should make our students ready for the challenges of 21st century. Here I have prepared some slides, and for the clarity of network issues, I'll keep my video off and share my slides. It is okay, madam? What I'll do is
Yes,
that
sir. Yes, sir. Pleasure, sir. Thank you.
I'll share my slides, keeping my video off. I will be off, but my
Okay,
slides,
sir.
yeah, this
Yes,
is
sir.
mainly
Go ahead, sir.
the network issue. Okay, allow me for 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Right from the top, it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Visible,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, okay. So the topic which I selected is the challenges of effective teaching for the 21st century generation, some thoughts. And I was the director of NIT Mizoram, so I have come back to my parent organization, NIT Silchar. Some facts. India is a young nation with 65% of population below the age of 35 years. Employability of Indian, here I mentioned engineering graduates, now it is all. Employability is a big issue. Some thoughts, but this is a great challenge for the nation. whether this will be a demographic dividend or disaster. 65% of the population below the age of 35 years. And here, employability is a big issue for all. We are not only engineering students, all graduates, postgraduates, and all. Employability is a big, big issue. So this 65% population, whether this will be a dividend, demographic dividend, or disaster, to me, it will be a dividend only, provided we teachers play our role perfectly. We have a bigger role here to make this population as the dividend of our country. So with this backdrop, I'll see how big is our country so far education is concerned. You see that I have compiled this data that how many universities and institutes we have, state and union territory, central university, state public university, state private university, institute deemed to be university, institute under state legislative assembly, institute of national importance, and total. Andhra Pradesh, we have 34, Arunachal, it is alphabetically I'm going, Arunachal 9, Assam 21. You see that Gujarat 60, this is coming as Gujarat is 65. Now Jammu and Kashmir, for that matter, the 14, and Mizoram, you see only 3, the least among all the states. West Bengal 14. There are 903. So this is, see that how big our country is and how many students we have and how many teachers we have in our universities. Institutes established under the state legislature, you see that 0.33%. Central university, there are 46, that is 5.09%. Institute of national importance, 11%. Institute deemed to be universities, 13%. State private university, 29%. State public university, 40%. Now, with the new education policy 2020 is a roadmap for the self-reliant India. So role of higher education is promoting human societal and developing India as a mission in its constitution. It is based on the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. You see that education is the manifestation of the perfection already present in man. Salient features of the NEP 2020 higher education, the fundamental principles of the policy, recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. My dear participants, please concentrate on this, that you see that recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by sensitizing teachers as well as parents to promote each student's holistic development in both academic and non-academic spheres. We all understand and we all firmly believe that each student has a capacity. And as a teacher, now we are the mentors basically. Mentors, it is our responsibility to recognize the capability of each student. It's an Herculean task, but again, that is the demand, that is the need. So we teachers should be trained accordingly, according to the highest priority, achieving functional literacy and numeracy by all students by grade 3. Flexibility, this is another big term in the new education policies, that all learners have the ability to choose their learning trajectories and programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interests. It's not necessary that all students should go for engineering or medicine. No, not required for our growth, for our sustainability. There are various spheres of life where our students can prosper. Yes, then that is the responsibility of the teachers, that is the mentors, to find out the capacity of the student. That is, yes. No hard separation between the arts and science, between curricular and extracurricular activities, between vocational and academic streams. Multidisciplinarity and holistic education across the sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, and sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledge. Emphasis on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. Days are gone when you only go for the rote learning and exams. Now, the learning is based on the conceptions. Creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. Ethics and human constitutional values, promoting multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning, life skills, focus on regular formative assessment for learning rather than the summative assessment. I'm sure you all know what is the difference between formative assessment and summative assessment. Now that we should focus more on the formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment that encourages students' coaching culture. The summative assessment is the encouragement for the student today's coaching culture. We have to shift from the summative assessment to the formative assessment. Extensive use of technology. Yes, now it is possible sitting at Assam at Silchar. I am delivering a lecture on the FDP, and all the teachers of the country are logged in, and this is because of the technology. So we must utilize the technology extensively. Respect for diversity and respect for the local context in all curriculum, important. Full equity and inclusion, important, another issue. Synergy in curriculum across all levels of education. Teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. Wonderful education policy, NEP 2020 has been framed, but who will implement this? It will be implemented by us only. It is implemented by teachers like us only. So we have a greater responsibility here to implement the new education policy to the fullest extent. I'm not going in the details of this. So finally, what is required is that well-rounded individuals equipped with the key 21st century skills. Our aim, we, the teachers, our aim should be to make our students well-rounded individuals equipped with the key 21st century skills. So let me see what are the key 21st century skills. There are the list of knowledge, skills, and work habits and character traits commonly associated with 21st century skills, though not exclusive. 21st century skills are abilities that I have listed 12 here, that today's students need to succeed in their careers during the information age. That is extremely important. Teachers must keep in our mind that these are the skills, though not exclusive, the students must have, if not all, some of them. What are these? Critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, information literacy. Now see the collaboration part. I'm giving the example that Madam as Poornima, I should give her example, how she has collaborated with the 28 states It's a unique FDP, my dear participants, whoever you are, wherever you are. Possibly this is the first time that a FDP is being conducted involving all the states of the country. I salute Madam Poornima and the organizing team for their efforts. This is possible because of this collaboration only. Neither I have seen Madam Poornima nor Madam Poornima has seen me, but that effort, that the moment, that is the arch that yes, we want to do something new and this is unique. I must salute again. Then you see that communication, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, social skills. These skills are intended to help the students keep up with the lightning space of today's modern markets. Each skill is unique in how it helps to students, but they will have one quality in common. They are essential in the age of the internet. So generally, what is the general concept is that now our students that right from the beginning, they should either they should appear for the JEE or NEET, they should go for the engineering or medical, or maybe say law or this one, that one. So this is the societal pressure or whatsoever. Now things have changed a lot over the years, and with the new education policy, it has changed further. Is that you know, once that everybody has space in this world, and that we teachers have the responsibility to find out the capability of a student that a student may not be very good at mathematics, but he or she may be very good at English. So she or he we should see that she flourishes in the subject in English. So that is the responsibility to find out the capability of a student. Now, 21st century skills, say learning skills, giving, you see that 21st century skills is broken into one of the three categories: the learning skills, literacy skills, life skills. Now, learning skills, the four C's, that is learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. I'm just going to this one. Learning skills, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. I'll not go for the details. Critical thinking means finding the solutions to the problem. Creativity, thinking outside the box. Creativity, thinking outside the box. One has to think outside the box, yes. Collaboration, working with others. I have given the example. There are many. Communication, talking to others. I'm giving the example. I'm not going in the details of this. Now, these four C's are the only beginning of 21st century skills, also require students to understand the information that is around them. What is this? That IMT, that is your information literacy skill. What are the literacy skills? Information, media, and technology. In today's world, we will be nowhere if we are not equipped with this skill. These three 21st century literacy skills are information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. Life skills, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, social skills. Flexibility means deviating from the plans as needed. Leadership, motivating a team to accomplish a goal. Initiative, starting projects, strategies, and plans on one's own. Productivity, maintaining efficiency in an age of distractions. Social skills, meeting and networking with others for mutual benefits. I'm not getting the details because time is limited, only 1 hour time is given. Now that we have established what the 21st century skills are, let's answer the next big question. Do employers actually want people with the 21st century skills? The answer is obviously yes. While 21st century skills have always been important, they have become essential in a worldwide market that moves faster by the day. This is because any industry is capable of changing at a moment's notice. The industries are now regularly disrupted with the new ideas and methodologies. Dear participants, you all have heard of Kodak, the film Kodak. Can you find Kodak nowadays? It is vanished. So if you try to analyze why Kodak has vanished from the market, mainly because they could not adjust with the disrupted, with the new ideas and methodologies. Those industries that haven't been disrupted aren't, even though they just haven't been disrupted yet. With that in mind, the world has entered an area where nothing is guaranteed. Even our job, we the teachers are facing the greatest challenge now. If I put the question, why? Not only industries, we teachers are also facing the greatest challenge now. That is another issue, but I'm giving a food for thought. All the information is available, and when all the information is available, what is the need of the teacher? So that is the challenge. Now, often we get the complaints that in the class, the attendance of the students is very less. Now in the class, if I ask a question to the students that how many wheels are there in a vehicle, I'll find my class empty next day. But if I put the question, if I frame the question in such a way that, yes, tell me why there are 4 wheels in a vehicle, possibly my class will be full next day. As a result, students need to learn to guide the change that will their life. At the very least, they need to learn how to react to it. Otherwise, they'll be left behind. In today's marketplace, falling behind means becoming obsolete. That is a familiar concept of all of today's students, as tomorrow's advancement makes today's miracles quaint or unimpressive. Today, the only consistency from year to year is change. With 21st century skills, our students will have the adaptive qualities they need to keep up with a business environment that is constantly evolving. That quality of education, see that learners, it depends on 4 parameters. It may be many, but just for the clarity, you see that quality of education, the learners, processes, content, and systems. It depends on the learners also. Learners should be healthy, motivated students. Learners, processes, that is competent teachers using active methodologies. My dear participants, you see that the word competent teachers using active methodologies. This area, the processes, we have to concentrate. Whether I'm teaching English, whether I'm teaching history, or I'm teaching engineering, fluid mechanics, my subject, or I am teaching, say, law, whatsoever, that competent teachers using active methodologies. That then content, that relevant curricula, there is no use of teaching which is irrelevant. So constant change of the curricula is the need of the hour. Many institutes or universities are fortunate to have that liberty to make regular changes of curricula. Those who are lagging behind, time is right that things are changing very fast and our content should be relevant. And this is only possible if we have a good system, that is good governance and educationist. The persons who are in the helm of the affairs, they should have a good vision, and the good governance also important. So all these four parameters are directly related to the quality of education, quality of education. What Tagore said, you see that good teacher, the primary task of a society is to find a real teacher, one who performs his duty with perfection and dedication and is a perfect model example for the society. Quality of nation depends on quality of citizens. In turn, it depends on quality of education, and ultimately it turns on quality of teachers. So we teachers, we understand our response, the sooner we understand our responsibility, the better it is. That the quality of a nation directly depends on the quality of teachers. A good teacher, primary and inherent characteristics features a sound and thorough knowledge with in-depth concepts of the subjects. That is the fundamental requirement, that whatever subject I am teaching, I may not be teaching too many subjects, but if I teach one or two or three subjects whatsoever, I should have in-depth concepts of the subjects. As I have given the example of that why students are not attending classes nowadays, even in online classes also, if we just repeat what is available in the MOOCs or what is already available, then we'll find that the attendance is very poor. And that is extremely important. That's why the teachers, the 21st century teachers are challenged more. I am a firm believer of this, that this is the greatest challenge of ours. Love and quest for knowledge with the thirst for logic and concept. Thinking ability, eagerness to make others know and understand the subjects you love. A good delivery and presentation style, fundamentally based on the concept. Mode of teaching, books and internets are not the substitutes of teaching in a classroom. Interactive and narrative discussion, thought-provoking discussion, stimulating and glaring examples. That is extremely important to keep the students involved in the discussion part. Creation of exciting and encouraging ambience, a good listener, a good personality, students friendly with a sense of humor, development of problem-solving skill and exposure to practice, theory, tutorial, practical demonstration, whatever possible. Development of skill of innovative thinking and innovative ability. Teaching, the learning objective, why to learn, importance of the subject, what skill will be developed, motivation for the learning. Now, this is the subject which I teach. I just skip it. That good initiative to encourage students encourage the talent. Student festival, training, students are to be encouraged all the time. Then accordingly, you have to make the calendar also. Student festivals, training programs, professional leaderships, e-cells, innovative and incubations. I've given some, there may be many. So there should be a typical calendar for this in the various events. E1, E2, these are events. At all the time, that the students should be busy with different activities accordingly. Thus, the shift is that. What is the shift? Instructor-based to student-centric. Earlier, as a teacher, we are the instructors. Now it is the student-centric. Learning to learn. In 21st century, knowledge outdates every 1 or 2 years. Hence, relearning is necessitated 15, 20 times in one's lifetime. Totally unimaginable thing may happen and we have to learn. Now, why you are challenged more, you see that all the things, open source courseware, you see that all the things are available. MIT, USA, NPTL, Virtual Lab, Khan, Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, Swim, everywhere, all the things are available. Now, as teachers, if you just see that if you just say what is available, then as I have given the example of that, that why there are how many vehicles, how many wheels are there in a vehicle, you will not find any student. But if you say that why 4 wheels are there in a vehicle, then that will find the student, let the student think. So we the teachers, repeatedly I'm telling, we are challenged more in the sense that yes, since all the information is available, we have to give our teaching, we have to deliver in such a way that innovative thinking, critical thinking should come. 21st century skills, you see that learner-centered classroom and personalized instruction. Learner-centered classroom and personalized instruction. Now, here the issue comes. What is the issue? Why I have given the statistics of that in India, there are 903 different universities. Why I have given this? I have given, you see that, you see, learner-centered classroom and the personalized instruction. In a huge country like ours, the class size, suppose a class size, if I say a class size is 60 or 70, suppose, is it possible for a teacher with a stipulated time of say 50 minutes or say 1 hour or 40 minutes to give personal instruction? My dear participants, my dear colleagues, this is the thought. Conceptually, we fully agree to this point that learner-centered classroom and personalized instruction. But while implementing this in our classroom, how feasible it is. So this is a point to ponder. We have our tutorial classes. I think in most of the institutes, we have your tutorial classes. The class size is generally 15, 20. So there it is somehow possible to have personal interaction. Now, in a class size of 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100 also. In IITs also, some IITs, they have 200 students in classroom. When you talk about that learner-centered classroom and personalized instruction, how it should be implemented. This is a very big issue. If I go back to my first fundamental principle of the policy, I'm going back to my slide. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. So that is the greatest challenge to me. That is the greatest challenge for the 21st century teachers. How to implement this. New education policy, or for that matter, we all agree and firmly believe that it should be done. So how it should be done? So a teacher alone cannot do anything. It's the responsibility of the management also to find out a solution, how to handle this particular thing. And this is the fundamental. This is the fundamental, that if this is not done, so nothing will happen. That recognizing, identifying, and fostering, that's what my topic, the challenges of effective teaching for the 21st century generation, some thoughts. So there cannot be a unique solution to this, that every institute has its own issues, own problems. So to me, that management along with the teachers should sit together and find out how to implement this. But issue is that there is no other way but to implement this, that what is this? This is learner-centered classroom and personalized instruction. Students as producers. Means students are to be engaged in various activities, learn new technologies, go global. Means that cooperation and collaboration. Smart devices, there is no other way. This webinar, to be very frank, I was not very much familiar with the webinar before 2020. March 2020, when the pandemic first started, at that time, we are at loss. We had no ideas that how to implement, how to continue teaching learning system. Initial some days, when all the students left the campus, we discussed day and night. Then finally, we means the we, not only from NIT Mizoram, not only from NIT Silchar, not only from a university, not only from this, we means we teachers of the country. We decided to go for the online teaching. And to me, the Indian teachers, for that matter, we the teachers are the greatest innovators. Tell me why? Initially, though we face some problem that how to adapt this with the physical classes, that online classes, but gradually we could adapt this utilizing the smart devices, online classes. Now still it is going on. There are many issues like not having smart devices of all the students, not having the internet connection. There is the digital divide. There is the India and Bharat. So these are the issues. This is not, now it is, I'm not discussing all these things. These are all issues. But in spite of all these things, we could succeed to some extent, if not 100%, to some extent, to reach out to the students, to deliver the contents. Regarding the conduct of the examinations, I am not sure how flawless it was or it is. So there is another issue, not to discuss at this moment. But what I wanted to emphasize here is that we teachers got adjusted with the changed scenario. And that's why I came to the conclusion that we teachers are the greatest innovators. Go digital, yes, this webinar is possible. As I said, I was not very much sure about the webinar. Before March 2020, I had little idea about the webinar. But now, with the passage of time, you see that digital. This is the faculty development program cannot be thought of without coming to the institute and physical teaching. But now you see that we can rope in anyone across the globe in the faculty development program, be your participants, be the resource persons. This is a collaborative project-based learning. Now, formative assessment and summative assessment. This is a formative assessment. The main concept of the formative assessment, you know, that every day we have to judge the student. Means we have to evaluate the students. It's not the students are to be evaluated at the end of the semester. No, no way. That is that. And that teaching learning system, that if it is project based, this is the students will be more involved there. That coding, that innovative, that is up to the teachers. That, as I said, that how there are various ways how teachers can be innovative. There is no prescription as such. Every teacher is unique. So keep learning. There is no denying the fact that yes, keep learning, that so long we are alive, we should keep learning. So there are 4 types of people. People who watch things happening. People who do not know what is happening. People who want things to happen, and people who make things to happen. So I'm sure we teachers fall under the category of that last one, that we are of that category, that we who make things to happen. I am a firm believer of this. Now, the only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. The only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. So with this, I acknowledge this. I have finished with the 50 minutes. 10 minutes I have kept intentionally if there is any discussion, because I don't like to have it only monologue. Let's have a dialogue also. We are all teachers, and what I have given some thoughts here. So whether these thoughts can be shared with you, and I can also enrich myself. So that is the purpose, that way I have planned is that let me talk about 50 minutes and let the another 10 minutes, because 1 hour time has been allotted to me. Let this 10 minutes be interactive. Let's maybe exchange of ideas, I should say. That is the purpose. Madam Poornima, that now floor is open to all the participants. If you want to discuss something or share your thoughts, I'll be extremely happy.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir. The session was very enlightening. It helps in developing the insights in the profession of teaching, especially the 12 skills and the 12 characteristics of 21st century teachers. We will take the mantra words, keep learning with us always, sir. You have beautifully explained, sir. So feedback time. I welcome our participants to give their feedback.
Sir.
Yes, madam. Yes. Namaste, namaste. Yes, madam. Yes.
सर आपका सेशन ऐसा था कि हृदय के हर तार को छू गया.
Thank you very much, madam.
क्योंकि आपने वो वॉइस किया जो हम मतलब तकलीफें नहीं बोल सकते हैं, चैलेंजेस से गुजर रहे हैं और उनके वाकई इनोवेटिव वे से जो हम इंडियन टीचर्स ने एक सॉल्यूशन निकालने का बीड़ा उठाया और हम कर भी रहे हैं. तो वो जो आपने और वो आपका जो क्वेश्चन का एग्जांपल था, आई थिंक दैट्स द पूरी कहानी में मुझे वो इतना दिल को लग गया कि हम किस चीज पे फोकस करें. आपने एक राह दे दी, एक की दे दी, बहुत बड़ी. बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Raghavendra from Bangalore, Karnataka, as an assistant professor working in Alamin B.Ed College. It was a really enlightening session, sir. That I have to congratulate you. And of course, because this is the national level online conference or online meeting that whatever having, most of the time we highlighted upon the online learning, online teaching, even platforms through which our educational activities can be carried out. But what you have highlighted was about 21st century skills. If you ask me, which stands beyond all this innovation or invention, whatever we talked about. If teacher is not there, all these online endeavors or whatever the efforts that our technology had made to make our classroom interaction more conducive, more child-centric, more multidisciplinary, more multidimensional. But in addition to that, you have just made it very clear. You took technology, whatever the new app or whatever the new platforms we are talking about. It may be for a few days, some other day or some other month or after a few years, a new things may come. That is the common phenomena we come across. But in your deliberations, which we have to keep few things. Point number one is teacher must be a learner. Until the last date of his service, he is a student. That is the one point that we have to keep in mind. You have beautifully given an analogy of a Kodak, which is not at all there even in the market today. And nothing is going to be survived if you are outdated. If the teacher is always updating himself, all these 21st century, even further, more any innovation, any research or any kind of novel thing comes in the field, teacher cannot be replaced. If we have to particular phase, we have to update ourselves and we have to keep on learning. That is what you have made us very clear, sir. Exactly. I will just salute for these kind of deliberations which has enlightened us as a teacher. I congratulate you, sir, for making us to be more informed and making us to be more proficient and more confident that a teacher cannot be replaced by any technology. Technology can be
yes.
supported with technology, can be supported with
Yes.
a teacher, a person. If you are a person who is in the classroom having the timely needed competencies or these skills, that is what it is a need of the hour, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I thank Poornima madam also for inviting such a great personality to inspire us. Thank you.
Thank
So
you,
nice.
sir.
Thank you very much. You have summarized in such a nice way. I'm so happy. I'm feeling so happy. I couldn't communicate what I wanted to communicate. Yeah, so happy. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, sir. I got a chance to
Thank you,
speak
sir.
with
So
you.
nice.
Thanks
So
a lot.
nice.
Thank you very much.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask, sir. If anybody,
I think no queries because Sir has given.
beautifully explained, no, ma'am.
Yes.
Sir has beautifully explained.
Could we have
Ma'am, anyone? Ma'am, would you like to speak anything?
no?
Okay, ma'am.
Just
Okay, ma'am.
contact detail. Could we have either email just to be more in touch with sir?
Okay. Yeah. Please, Madam Poornima, please give all the
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes,
true.
sir. It's my pleasure, sir. I will give.
So nice. Yes.
Kindly share your slides also, sir. Let me circulate in group, sir.
Okay. I'll do.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir.
Really,
Okay.
your
Thank you.
presentation was
Thank
so
you, sir.
inspirational,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Stay safe,
Thank
stay
you.
healthy. Namaskar to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great session, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall I move to the session 2?
Yes, we shall move to next session.
Now, shall I, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can proceed.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. As the quote says, we are in this grand webinar. Now, I would request Ms. S. Srividya, Assistant Professor in English, Trinity College for Women, to initiate the valuable words for our esteemed special guest. Welcome you, ma'am. Welcome you, Srividya, ma'am. Srividya, ma'am. Srividya, ma'am, I welcome you to initiate the words. You're not audible, Srividya, ma'am.
Just wait for 2 minutes. Sir, sorry for the inconvenience. Please wait for 2 minutes, sir. Yes, Srividya, ma'am. Srividya, ma'am.
Yes, am I audible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
You are
ma'am.
audible now. You can introduce the chief guest now.
I'm sorry, there was a network program
Okay, ma'am.
problem over here.
No issues, ma'am. No issues. We can proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. A warm and blissful morning to everyone. I'm honored to introduce the key speaker of this session. He's from the hilly, rocky, forested highlands and downs, the greens, the exotic flora and fauna, the land of the Nagas. He is none other than Professor Nigamananda Das, Professor of English, Nagaland University, Kohima campus, Nagaland. Our special chief guest is the former Dean, School of Humanities and Education and former head Department of English, Nagaland University, Poornima campus, and he's the academic in charge of the campus. He has 28 years of teaching experience at UG and PG levels, 29 years of research experience with 17 years of postdoctoral research. Authored 3, edited 5, and co-edited 2 books published by national and international publishers. And 65 of his research papers published in Commonwealth and Saint Literature, ELT, and Contemporary Theory being his major areas of interest. 3 UGC-sponsored minor research projects have been completed by him. So far, he has guided 35 MPhil scholars and 13 PhD scholars, and he has ties with a dozen literary organizations as a referee, editor, and a life member. His edition of Jhumpa Lahiri's Critical Perspectives is circulated to 200 Indian university libraries. Books authored by him are Mosaic of Redemption, Essays on Poetry in English, Ecology, Myth and Misery, Contemporary Poetry in English, The Poetry of Jayanta Mahapatra, Imagery and Vision, Matrix of Redemption, Contemporary Multi-Ethnic English Literature from Northeast India are the books authored by him, and Metaphysics of Redemption, Art Anthology of World Literature, and his co-edited books are Wings of Poesy, Prosaic Musings, Short Stories, and Writing Skills. He was an associate at Indian Institute of Advanced Study, Shimla, during 2009 to work for ecological literature and science literature. 17 international and 50 national seminars witnessed the presentation of his worthwhile research papers. And he has been an invited speaker for a number of valuable and noble institutions. It has been delivered by him. He has designed 25 syllabuses for various programs and a member of 4 syllabus committees. He practices learner-centered teaching, prioritizing students' participation in textual and critical analysis with emphasis on multi-pronged deconstruction of texts in novel ways to empower scholars with fresh critical insights. Your biodata is just breathtaking, sir. We are very happy to have you here. We are happy to have your expertise over the field. Thank you, sir. And you're welcome, hearty welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Without your right direction, we cannot fulfill our dream in that determined way. I feel proud to say that we are in right platform. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Nigamananda Das, Professor in English, Nagaland University, Kohima campus, to utter his precious words on the topic, recent trends and challenges in research. I welcome you, sir. Sir?
Sir, kindly unmute your audio, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Good
Yes,
morning,
sir.
sir. You're audible, sir.
So, good morning, everybody, the participants and the organizers. So, my area is recent trends and challenges in research. in this title, you see the terms recent, trends, challenges, and then research. These are the 4 terms. I will be speaking throughout. I will not show you any slide because say this is all descriptive type of things. So I request the participants to kindly bear with me and please listen to me. So these terms that are recent, trends, challenges in research. So these are the terms. So we'll begin with the last term, that is research. So as you know, everybody, every human, illiterate or illiterate, in some way or other, is searching for something or researching also, trying to investigate, to find out, and sometimes to become creative. So these are the basic parameters that in research we'll have to investigate, and we'll have to be very much necessarily we must be creative, and then we need to contribute to the new creation of a new knowledge. So there is a creation of a new knowledge is the basic criteria in all the researches. So now, last year, October, you might have read in the UGC website, there was one notification, guidance document on good academic research practices. So good academic research practices, when we are engaged in research and positively, research is very much useful in our life. And without research we can live. But in other words, we can say without research we cannot live, because say now everything we are using or everything we are related with, we are concerned with. So that is all are the outcomes of research only. Electricity, now whatever in the modern gadgets, whatever in our daily day-to-day life also we are using. So all are somewhere or other outcomes of research. Maybe research is done in some past, some unknown time, we don't know, or maybe that these researches, current researches, recent researches. So researches we are very much related with, very much concerned with research. So research is very basic to our survival. And we need to, because without research we cannot progress. So there is a very basic necessity of research for our progress and for our very existence, for our very survival. Even the problems in our day-to-day life, the problems we meet with, we can tackle those problems with our research only. We can solve our say difficulties with the research only. So when I mentioned this last year's this kind of notification by UGC, that good academic research practices. So it means that there have been some practices which are not good. That is why here is an advisory that our apex body is just giving us some advisory. Same way AICT and other say regulatory bodies, they have all NCT, all different, you see, MCI, in different branches of studies. There are regulatory bodies which are issuing some say this guidelines to follow. We need to follow. So when they are saying, talking about good say research academic practices, good research, so there is something positively that in their notice something is bad. And you know that this is previously UGC also asked all the higher educational institutes to just say send a list of that in their say academic bodies to decide, finalize and send some list of journals which will be included in the UGC list. And then for promotions, for recruitment, so they will use only those journals, the publications from those journals only. So they uploaded in the UGC website the list of journals, and then after some years again they just see deleted all those. cancelled all those maximum journal from the list. Maximum journals have been cancelled, and now they came out with one care list. And they made also that 4 categories, that is in January, on 14th January 2019, they just she came out with one notification that there will be one care list, that there is, that means in these journals, the journals are lacking in research ethics, the publication. So there should be some mandatory regulations that all the journals must follow. And also the first, they made 4 groups. The first group is Group A. You know all those things, just in way of introducing. I'm just, before coming to my topic, I'm just talking about all those things. And then they said that in a Group A, that those are in a Scopus list or in Web of Science list. So they will not undergo any test. Those journals will not be tested. So they are automatically coming to UGC list. And other 3 categories, so there will be some testing. Again, some regional, 4 regional centers, some the 4 regional centers like Tejpur in the eastern region. So in the same way, so 4 regional centers are there. Tejpur University, like Tejpur University here in the eastern region, that all the institutions, they will send their list. They will decide the quality journals. They will decide in their academic bodies, finalize the list and send there. And from there again, it will be sent to this Pune University for testing. Thereafter, it will come to UGC care list. So this is now the procedure going on for selecting the list of journals that which will be necessary. The publications from in those journals only will be counted for promotion of teachers or recruitment of teachers in the higher educational institutes. So now positively in our country, even you will see in the last list, the earlier UGC list, so many foreign journals have been cancelled, that they were not satisfactory in their content. So many, you just see, if you verify the last cancelled list, you will find so many journals have been cancelled. So now the question is that there is some journals there. That means in the research also, this open access, and then this publication peer review. These are also 2 mandatory things. That these are also 2 challenges in the recent research. These are 2 challenges. So then, if that the journals earlier got so many recruitments, so many promotions have been done under the last cancelled list of journals, because of so many publications were published there, so many papers, and those are also considered for recruitment and promotion. So what about that again? Because if those were just cancelled from the list, that they are not up to the mark in the quality, then the publications from there also have been counted for recruitment and for promotions. So now we are just coming to one recent category, one criteria, that it will be care list. So in the and Scopus and Web of Science, and if you just look into the criteria for some journals to be categorized in Scopus list or in Web of Science list, there are some criteria. If you just go through that, you will find also there are some lacunae, that there are some problems there, that there are also some compromises in quality that is there. So then now the question is arising now, if we are talking about research that is a creative work, and this creative work is adding to the new creation of a new knowledge, and then there again the quality question is coming. The question of quality is coming. Then the positively some researches are there, and some new contribution to new knowledge also is coming. But there also is a problem now. So then, if we stick to that point, that there are difficulties here in deciding quality, that even in say publication there is problem. So then positively there is problem in research. So we'll look into again the categories of research before going into our subject, that the trends and challenges. And again, whatever I have mentioned here, the thing is that this quality, the quality that this good academic research and bad academic research. So now there is regulations in place for good academic research. That means some bad academic research practices are also going on. That is going on. So we need to do away with that. We need to replace that with good academic research. So bad academic research is there. Then you just see this is a trend, because this is going on and there is guidelines or regulations in place to just do away with that, to just say finish that and to come out with some good, some improving, some good say academic practices. Then there is a problem. There is a problem here that this has been a trend, that with the good, some quantity of some percentage of bad academic research is going on, and that has been a trend. And from when we don't know, because you see, if some are good, some are bad, then you see the good is the bad is existing with the good, and we are now say at one point that this is bad academic research or the bad researches will just hamper and will just do some harm to our society, to our culture, to us, and to the world at large. So that will do. So that need to be replaced and to be done away with. Just we must finish that. But there is also a challenge. So this with good academic work, good academic research, that there is a bad academic research, and that is a trend. And here is a challenge also, that unless we do away with that bad academic research, then there will be problem. So that is why now guidelines or regulations in place. So UGC, our apex body, in generally in the same way also AICT, NCT, and MCI. So other regulatory bodies, they will be having their own guidelines in the same way for respective disciplines of study and respective disciplines of research also. So then we'll now see that overall, what are the different types of research, and generally in research what we do. So you just see that while in research, you just see if we go to the type of research, then you will see that there is a say original research. So original, and in generally in research what is done in research generally involves collection of data, and then organization of the data, then the analysis of the data, then the interpretation of the data, and at the end there will be a summation. So these are the 5 stages of all the researches. And then if we just think about that different kinds of research or different forms of research or different types of research, then you will see the original research. It is at the end top. And then there is also scientific research. Then there is also artistic research. There is also research in humanities, social sciences, and other disciplines. So these are, you can just categorize research as a whole in 4 different ways. And in generally, in original research, or what we can call primary research, they are generally what is done, that will produce positively, will produce new knowledge. And then this new knowledge will just, what is the new knowledge? This new knowledge will be an addition to our existing store of knowledge. So in the existing store of knowledge, and this addition should not be a new wine in an old bottle, or old wine in a new bottle. It should not be. It should be altogether new wine in a new bottle. So the research, generally the original research, what it should be, I gave you the example. It should be new wine in new bottle. That means you see foundation should be new. It should be totally innovative, and it should be a really new contribution to the store out, to the reservoir of knowledge. So in that case, what we need to do, that we should be very much original. So for this original, positively, that the process will go for a data collection in any form of research. There are the 5 stages. We'll go for data collection, then we'll organize the data, then we'll analyze the data, then we'll interpret the data, and then we'll sum up or we'll conclude our finding. So these are the 5 stages. In that way, we just think of science, technology, engineering, these branches wherever a laboratory is involved. In a laboratory research, what happens? Generally, the same data, the same sample will come will be analyzed there. So, and there, if the laboratory is there, what we feel that say participants belonging to science research, they will know more that in a laboratory, when we are just doing some sort of say experimentation, it is experiment based. Experimentation, if in the experimentation something new is not found, then we will not know positively there will be some new thing. Unless it is new, we cannot just say that there is some sort of discovery, some sort of innovation, or some sort of invention. So there is a new contribution to knowledge. We cannot say that way. If there is some sort of manipulation, we don't know. So we believe in that because we are from humanities discipline. So we have not studied science, but those who are from science discipline, positively they will know that in their laboratory what they do. Or in whichever discipline, a laboratory is involved, where the testing is done, so they will know. Or else in all the researches, hypothesis is the backbone of research. If the hypothesis is backbone of research, and hypothesis what? Hypothesis is an educated guess. It is just a prediction. So it is an anticipation. So that on the basis of our say review of literature, so the data we are collecting from there, whatever we'll just guess. Or in just humanities, social sciences, what we do generally, some existing literature is there, and we review it on the basis of our study of the existing material. When we are taking a new field of study, a new field of investigation, so we presume that that is a presumption, that is a guess, that is an anticipation, and we think that we predict that this is this kind of study, and there will be this kind of say result. And say hypothesis may go wrong. So when hypothesis finally, after the say analysis, we find the hypothesis is wrong, then we'll have to revise the hypothesis. In that research, that is generally done that way. Then positively, so there is a study. For example, in historical analysis, somebody is writing history. Somebody is writing history. So what sort of, so positively the person he will just collect data, arrange it, and start writing. So start writing there what is there in historical research. So certain things which are in general unknown to maximum people. People don't know, or it's details they don't know in historical research in their writing. So they positively collect, arrange, and start writing. So show something new that which is ordinarily unknown to others. So in historical research that is done. So there is nothing say very much innovative or very much say it is a kind of say invention. It's not like that. It may be a kind of a discovery. It's not an invention. And in artistic research, for example, even somebody is writing a novel, there is a necessity of some data. So that very person who is just writing a novel, so he will just, what he will do, he will just go search some details, some storage, even some geographical from area, some area. So some geographical data, he will just collect some geographical data and he will just arrange it. So there is also research, what we can call it artistic research. Even in non-fictional or non-fictional account, say somebody is writing somebody's biography, the man is dead, somebody's biography. So he will positively collect some data and write the person's biography. So that he just does there. So that is artistic research. In humanities also. So even for writing, the writer has to discover certain things, and then he has to show in his writing something new, which is generally unknown to the public. So that also he does in that is what we call artistic research. So these are some of the major say ways. Even just in social science, in humanities. So generally we collect, say for example, somebody is doing some research in literature. So there, earlier days it was different. Somebody was just writing about how the author, the literary author, how he just say painting, say some characterizing, or he just presenting the plot, the characters, all those things are going on. But now in a literary research, what is in literature, in humanities, what is happening? They are just taking some theory from say social science. So by on the basis of some social science theories, so now it has become multidisciplinary in humanities and social sciences. So researchers have become so multidisciplinary by just from different disciplines intermingling some theories. So they are just doing the research and analysis. So in social science and humanities, so research have become multidisciplinary. In the same also in science, say if somebody combines say physics with botany and they just you can find out something new. So that may be also multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary research. So that is being now say, and research in the recent time has become very collaborative in the sense that earlier, say for example, if we talk about electricity, telephone, or railways, so all these inventions, discoveries, so we'll just attribute this kind of discovery to one particular scientist that he did it. So those are all individual resources. Individual resources, they at their own level. So in their own laboratory, they just studied and invented or discovered certain things. So all sorts say discoveries, inventions, those are also researches. They are attributed to individuals. Individual researches are there. But in the present time, there is the presence of a technology. Earlier days also technology was there, but now technology is very much crept into the recent say researches, and it has become collaborative. So this is a common trend now. Of course, individual researches are going on. Academic institutions also, in academic institutions, both say laboratory collaborative in science, technology, engineering, they have a collaborative research. And then say in humanities, we individual scholars are also doing research. Then now, if we just come to the trends as a whole, that now how what are the major trends in the contemporary or in the research that I already mentioned, that research now has become very much complex. You cannot say research is all the time complex, but say why I'm just mentioning about recent research, it is complex now, and collaborative also. Why collaborative? Because in general, you just see in science, agriculture, medicine, say all these disciplines, where this laboratory is there. So individual also can pursue his research. But when there is a team, group work, so now the responsibility is divided and it's again united. It is divided, so individuals have been given responsibilities, and it is also a united effort, because all together putting the different minds and just you see, say working on one particular problem, and then they are just you see it is becoming easy, and also it is becoming more productive, and also say collaborative research more productive, and also say the complexity, the difficulties are also shared, and then those are made easy. So in collaborative research, so though the complexity is made easy by collaborative research, because there are so many individuals with their own efforts. So they are just doing the research. And then now research say at present, because research what for? What for will do research? There must be a goal of the research, and for whom? So who are the stakeholders? So these are the questions. So now research is now the very focus of research is real world application. Real world application, we have our then also societal impact, and also there is a commercial turn. Commercial turn in the sense that research now companies for their products, so they are also taking help of their research consultants are there. So how say IIM, so IIT is in IIT and IIM level. So for different products also, so research is going on, because say businessmen, they want to say bring new products into the market. So that they are just taking help of the say the institutions. From academics, it is coming academic research, and then they are getting, because now for innovation, now all the institutions generally, bigger institutions are say educational institutions are recognized for their innovative say contribution. That in innovation, how they are contributing, now how they are just you see giving ideas of skills, promoting skills, and then so that way it is commercial. We'll see that now so many new products are coming into our market that we are enjoying because we are the consumers. So this consumerism now is developing with the help of this research also, and then societal impact, because you see we have social problems. And examples, for example, say there are difficulties now. There is say one railway is going, rail track is going now. There are say hilly area. So how they will do? So the engineering. So they will consult the engineering branch. So the concerned branch will advise how they will use some new technology to just give some new way of some innovative way of establishing the rail track. So that is there. So these are societal impact on that is a trend now. So there is a commercial turn, there is a societal, that is what we call real world impact. Whatever we need now, whatever we need now, or our difficulties, our necessities must be fulfilled by the contemporary research. The researchers will do it. And so that is what the research is for. But if you see at the end, you just think about Newton, say then Albert Einstein, those great scientists, the researchers they did, that they did in their areas of interest. For example, say in science research. So on elements only, because you just see the science, the different branches of science. So they deal with the 5 elements of the world. This earth, the air, the fire, say sun, fire, and then this Uti Apote Bayu Akasha. So these are the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, ether, sky, and then the sky itself. And then say these are the 5 elements of which this is the cosmos, the world is constituted. So these are the 5 elements, and on this basically the science researches, for example, physics is related with matter and the different forms or different states of matter. So these are the things. So the first trend of research is it is becoming very complex and collaborative in recent times. The second say trend of research is it is real world application, and it has a societal impact, and it has also a commercial turn for academic research. And then the third one, the third trend, of course it is the fourth one. The first trend I told, that is the very both a trend and a challenge. That was both a trend and challenge. That in the research there is a mediocrity. That there are good researches, of course, good research practices, of course, but there are also mediocre research practices. And then the guidelines for these good research practices are in place to just do away with the mediocrity. That we must improve. Then technology now also is helping this collaborative research, and then it has become a very important tool. Technology now. So on all the disciplines, not only in one discipline, in all the disciplines. So technology is a trend now. That, in the old times, so in the old times that was, of course, a trend, but that technology was not so advanced. So we are in the digital age. That is why it is now the fourth trend of that. And then now one important thing Say for example, in case of India, because when we are talking about this trend, so this is first operating behavior. That it is common to all the participants of the world, those who are the participants in research. India, if we just come to India, because in ancient times, before Middle Age, so, of course, you see the European universities. Please, because some people are talking and it's disturbing. Please. So, in the ancient world, you will see before the Middle Ages, when all over the world, there are not very important universities because universities are the seats of higher learning and research both. So at that time, what was happening in India, we had some universities in Nalanda, Taxila, Pushpagiri, and so many universities we had in India, and positively study and researches were just going on. And positively, there is a technology you can see from a length, you just see the length and the breadth of our country. You will see magnificent structures, say architectural structures, temples. So in the recent, our technology is so developed, but in those old days, that on the hard stone, they are able to do this filigree work. So minute detail, the work with so many minute details they engraved, and how many years it took them, and how much of skill and hard work they had, and so beautifully they have done. And positively, there was a technology there. There was an engineering there positively, but say those skills, those with the say destruction of all those ancient universities, say universities of ancient and medieval times, so those technologies are gone. And then now also we have some architects, some sculptors, but say work of that say height, that magnitude is not possible now. You will find cities with thousands of temples, and so nicely done, so neat and clean. But in the present technology, on the same hard stone, it will be very difficult to build all those things. So then where is that technology? Where is that science and engineering now? Why now? Because whatever we are studying or whatever research we are doing, these are all Western. Western means it's beyond India. It may from wherever it may come. So we just this modernity, it came with the British rule. When the British or the Europeans came to rule us, they started ruling us with that. This is the system of education we are following now. So we are just to see, we just inherited this kind of education and research from them only. But say we have our Indological studies, religious studies, and so many great things are there. But say, because I was just mentioning this Pruthi, Apateja, Vayu, these 5 elemental concepts. So that came from Buddhism. That came Pruthi, Apateja, that this body is constituted of 5 elements. Pruthi, Apateja, Vayu, Akasha. So Pruthi means earth, Apa means water, Teja means fire, and Vayu means the ether. Pruthi, Apateja, Vayu. Vayu means ether, air, and sky. The sky also. Because the sky means the void, the emptiness. Because if our feet is on the earth, our body is in the emptiness, on void. So one vacuum is there where we are just existing. So this kind of a concept, that and the body is also constituted of that. If you just look into our body, you can just dissect the body and you go into the different parts of the body. You will find everything. You will find whatever is there externally present in this cosmos, in this world, internally also within this human body, the same thing is present there. So then we are very much say grateful, or we are just very much borrowing these ideas of research in medicine or in say engineering or in say science, in technology, from almost all the things which are all Western. That means you can say alien, not Indian. Then there is a necessity, it is a challenge now also. We need to revive that old tradition. We need to revive that old tradition, and we need to make a trend. Just that we see that in the 7 wonders of the world, but we have also so many wonders, more than 7 wonders within our country. We say 7 wonders, but we have more than 7. We have so many more wonders in this country, in this one our country. And you see, this was devastated by the foreign invaders. They just destroyed and pillaged our cities for, you see, years and months. So we had so many riches. You go to British Museum, you go to any part of the world, you go to the University of California or Berkeley or any other campus, you will find that there is this vast knowledge of Indology. So many scriptures, so many books are there in their library, which are not in the same for even in Indian libraries. So they are collecting, they have studied. And also when this European, the alien people, they just started ruling us, it was because of this political turmoil, because of a disintegrity among our rulers here, that they got the opportunity and occupied our country and started ruling us for centuries. So they ruled us for centuries. And then the language we are speaking, that is not ours, that is there. It is not the mother tongue, that is the other tongue. I'm speaking the other tongue. And then there is now the basic query that we need to know. We need to know our roots. We need to know, and we need to just get a method of our own way, because we had also researches. We had a better researches when people from all over the world, from Western countries, those who wrote about, you just see this Indian Indological theories and texts, those who wrote, they came here, they studied. You will find on Ravidas, Tulsidas, on even great North Indian scholars, the saints. You see, better books have been written by the European scholars. There are so many books. So they came here, they studied and they wrote. And they found also here lies a great culture, great, even the greatest culture of the world. And there are also, here is also science, here is also engineering, here is also technology, here is also medicine. We have our Ayurvedic and other systems. Of course, researches are not done, because you see, there was also a medical science at that time. So, and also people survived. There are so many wars. We don't have so many wars nowadays. But in those days, there are wars every time. In a year, you will find so many wars, warring nations, warring neighborhood. They are doing all the wars. And there was also, say, medicine, medical treatment, everything was there. But then, why couldn't we revive that old tradition? And we must have our own theory and establish ourselves in research in our own way. So it must be a trend now. Now, for that revival, so now encouragements are coming. So in the new education policy, you will find NEP, such things are there. Those have been included there for research and for study. Those are there. But you see, even our history was blurred. We just see our history was distorted. So we are studying histories which are being written by those European scholars, the way they showed us, but we had great heroes. About them, nobody knows. So that is there. Even when they came to Kanchipuram and they came to Jagannath Puri, they found that here is one religious culture, a literary culture is there, which is so strong. The discussions going, there was a theory. There was a theory, there was everything. Even our astrology, you just see properly. If you will study astrology, you can look in the astrology. If you will earn that expertise, you can just tell when a person will die. Just see, and there is no such science now just to predict the exact moment, the exact date of death. Birth you are getting, you are recording. Death, how can you do? But there are the science there. So such things are there positively. So there is a necessity now that one trend is, which is very weak now, that trend. So there is a necessity of reviving that trend, that our ancient trend of culture. And we must just build a new trend of research. That a new trend of research, because now the research wage, the technique, the methodology, the scope, whatever, all these formats, the literature, the study, research format, whatever we are now using. So that is their format they gave us. Because the whole system of education now, you see, 1835 Lord William Bentinck, that is being just, you see, revamped, changed, this metamorphosis is going on. But you see, some changes are going on. but there is no radical change. The same colonial pattern of education. So on that we are just building, making some modifications, but there is a necessity of a radical change to the research culture. We must create one culture of our own, and we must show to the world we are no less than others, that we had one culture, our ancient culture. We are so advanced. We are so advanced. So they came, they navigated, and they came to us. We just see this invention, this say, Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and all those people, why they came? Because this, you just remember, the Turkish occupied Constantinople, and the roadway to Asia was blocked. So that part of history. So then now, where there is a weak trend of Oriental research for say our to just reviving our old ways of science, technology, engineering, medicine, all those studies and the research in that. So which is very weak now, that need to be strengthened. But that is a trend now here. And then I already mentioned it, that the trend of research which is now existing both in maybe individual researchers, so great scholars, those who are doing research privately at their individual level, that may be different. But I see those scholars, say academic research, so in the institutional research, so there what is there now? The low quality, average quality, you can say. The average quality is still there. That is why the guideline in place for good academic research practice. So there is a necessity that has been. So this is mediocrity, the mediocre kind of say culture or a trend is still there, and we need to just promote it. We need to just promote it, and this we need to strengthen it. So in this way, say ordinarily we can say there are numerous, but for our time, within the time 1 hour time period, whatever we can just discuss, we can say at best there are 6 trends of research now going on. So now we'll come to the challenges. The challenges in research now. So challenges are innumerable. So we can just enumerate a few and discuss, and those challenges, how will we face? It is for us to face. So we need to enumerate. So the first challenge I mentioned already, that there is a culture of plagiarism, that we need to study. Other researches, when we are doing one particular research in a particular field, so we need to study the other researches done. That is what we call a review of research. And also you just see Rita Browse in our writing this dissertation in our book writes, you just see for a master's dissertation, it may be MPhil or in a master's, in review of a literature, some minimum number of say sources should be studied, literature study. Say for masters, one must study a scholar in academic research and a scholar 50 sources. But you just see, you see all the MPhil, master dissertation, how many scholars have in their literature study, review of literature, 50 sources, how many of them they mention? When they do synopsis or when they write, there also synopsis is a different thing because a few pages to be done. But when they just write their dissertation, how many mention minimum 50 sources? This is a standard. And for PhD research, 250 sources, a minimum of 250 sources must be reviewed. But you just see, this is a challenge. So this number, why it's given? If minimum means maximum, if more than also 250 sources, you can say there are some new fields. So many sources for literature review may not be available. That will be an exception. But you see, we don't know. Exception means if you will just go on searching, you will get. But we don't have that much of patience. And you say we don't have enough scope and time also, so that we cannot just manage. That way you can say. But when you just see for a doctoral research, you will just see in the review of literature, you will study 250 sources. You will study. Then it will be positively, it will just say give you the idea of the total idea of the field, and there you will just also get better scope for your study, for your investigation, and from there you will build your hypothesis in a better way. So your hypothesis may be, your prediction may be stronger, your anticipation or your educated guess, what we call just a hypothesis, the backbone of the research. So that will be positively better. So we need to have that much of a patience. We need to work hard to that extent, or else you see research is not. We have time, but we don't have a devotion for that. We don't have devotion, so we need dedication, devotion, and we must give our full time. That should be our obsession. In your dream also you will dream research. If that is not done, then that is no research at all at academic level, because we are all participants and positively from different academic institutions. So we are pursuing all academic research at academic level, institutional. We are enrolled in our some institution, and so our basic goal is to just to get one degree and do some work. And for example, those who are in teaching, for example, science research, because they are all laboratory based, so they have a practice of frequently sitting in laboratory, doing some work in laboratory. For example, those who are in humanities, social sciences, in other disciplines, other than science discipline. So what they do? Research is for promotion, research, because once I went for one PhD viva in one university, I asked the scholar, so what will be the difference when you will be awarded the degree? So what you will achieve? The scholar replied, promotion. That means he achieves with the degree, the scholar will get promotion. So if only for promotion or for increments we are just doing research, so that is not research at all. That should be your life and blood. Research must be your life and blood. Without that, it is not research at all. It is not research at all. So we will now come to the challenges. So already the first challenge I have mentioned. So that is what? That is that this is bad research, because bad research practice. So that is a challenge. We must stop it. So we must stop it, not at personal level, at a universal level, at everywhere. Everywhere we must do it. So who will do it? Because implementation policies are adopted. Implementation is difficult. And we are facing, you just see all over the world, only the private university, Harvard, you just see Harvard University. If you can name MIT, Harvard, you can name the best institutes in the world. They are all private institutes. And they are excelling so much. But our private institutes are not excelling. Because in our mind, I'm not criticizing anybody, I'm not attacking. In our mind, it's only money. That we will just do business, bad business, not good business. Because you can earn from business, but you earn good way. You get profit, you give profit to people also. You may benefit people. So without benefiting people, if you will just do something wrong, some bad practice, you will just adopt. So you are selfish. So you are not contributing to any to the building of a nation, or to building of humanity, or the building of the world, or self-building also. You need to build yourself also. So if you will build yourself good way, because people, you just say, if people, somebody is called father of nation, what selfishness he had? Mahatma Gandhi was killed. So if you will become that way, you will be killed only. So you just see, this is how good is honored in what way. If one man just without holding one sword, he could bring the independence for one of the biggest countries of the world. Just see in terms of population, how big is our country. Just see, and culture wise and our ancient tradition wise, how rich we are. So, but in spite of that, what has been done? In the name of research, what we are doing? Just see, I don't say that good researchers are not going on, but you just see percentage of good research. You just see somebody is going abroad, having one degree from Harvard, and he's honored everywhere. You come with one degree from one PhD from Harvard University, you will be honored everywhere. Because you see, that is how great is that. So then what they are doing? They are doing some good work. Positively, if you are doing some good work, good practice, you are having some good practice, adopting some good practice, so you are good. So then the first challenge is that we need to say challenge this mediocrity or the bad, that we must unitedly, because it's not only you and me, all should work hard towards just building a great culture of research. And it should start with the child's childhood, that from kindergarten, that how creative a child can be. If in one way or if we will just teach them creativity, and they will grow with a culture of creativity positively in the future. So this destructiveness will not come into them. So they will be positively, because you see, that is your habit. We grow with our habit. If we get some bad habit, we will become bad. If we get some good habit and we do it, because it depends on your environment, how you are taught, how you learn. So this is how you grow. So, and how is your environment for growth? So if everything is good, so then positively you will grow good. So that will happen. And then this is the first challenge, is that we need to face this culture of a bad research, what we say. That means we must do away with the plagiarism. You see, now there are so many research methodology books. So there you see how to do away with the plagiarism. How to do away with the plagiarism. That how to reduce it, but it doesn't mean that in Turnitin or Urkund you will just do the analysis, and then when you are getting some good percent, you will start say deselecting the sources. Of course, the similarity sources will come, but you see, when you are deselecting the similarity sources, then you must know. You must you must record with what way, that in what way this similarity somewhere some other source is showing that your work has similarity with that, and when you are just deselecting it, so you must have enough region. You must show region that just you can just for sake of you see reducing the percentage, you should not deselect. You must record the region and you must prove it also. So then the second challenge, if the first challenge is that we must develop a culture of a good say research practices, and just to because you see doing away with the bad practices in one day you cannot do. So it needs time, because it took so many, and it has been in our blood, that we don't know, that somehow we are so lazy that we cannot just you see frame a sentence. You cannot just write sentence on our own, and you will just you see take some lines as it is from others, and we just make it our own. So that should not be encouraged, and we must be very much careful to that. Then the next is this meta research, means these scientific research practices. We must make whatever research practices are there. We must make a scientific study of that and refine it. So that is what we call meta research, and the method should be innovative. That you are adopting method, because it is searching methodology. In general, I'm talking these general challenges. Then there will come individual challenges. Then personal challenges. So there are different challenges. Then the methods should be choosing method, adopting method. So the scholar itself. So then when you are just on the basis of the study of your literature, when you are just adopting some methods, that you will make some innovative methods, new methods. So for that also you will search, and you must have sufficient region also, whichever method you are choosing. So that should be on the basis of your literature review, literature study, and for that you must be the scholar, the participant, the researcher must be very much say careful. And then already I mentioned that there is a necessity of promoting or reviving. That is a challenge, reviving the indigenous culture of research. That we are just the culture, the research culture. There is a necessity of promoting one culture. So research culture must be promoted. That is a challenge. That we must. That I am telling you from kindergarten onwards. We must say teach creativity or promote creativity in our children when they are studying. So that research you can just all of a sudden after your masters or after your graduation, you will just say be acquainted. You will be just introduced into research, but earlier you don't have any idea. So it should slowly, it is just, you see, it must be ingrained into yourself. That must be done. So you must say promote the culture of research and then promote the indigenous culture. That because you just see Russia, China, you see, they have some culture. So of course, so they have their some research things because they are now the developing countries which are in the forefront. So they have something also indigenous and that they are doing. So there is a necessity of that. And all the different dogmas, bias from research must be done away with. We must remove that. And then this publication peer review, because you just see in the recent regulation, when you are just before publishing your thesis, you must have presented paper in some seminar successfully, and you must just you must have published one paper, research paper, that one research paper in one refereed peer-reviewed or care listed journal, so or Scopus Web of Science journal. So why that? Because when peer review is there, whatever you are just writing, that will be reviewed. So they will give your remark, their remark. On the basis of that, we will develop the paper. So it is not the study or research is not between only you and your supervisor. So it should be also public. It should open access. So that others also access and have their say on what you are saying, in what way you are wrong or right. So that it should be done. And then this in general, we must promote research, innovation, and excellence. You see, now some universities or colleges are given this center of excellence. They have been given UGC. There is a scheme, but why not all? Why? So that means at all individual levels, all the institutions, they must strive hard that to come to the status, because without that innovative or skill-oriented or excellent practices, so there is no stand at all. There is no stand at all. And then say other thing now, those who are doing research. So these are general things at an individual level. Those who are also doing researchers, because they need some funding, individual researchers. So they, for their laboratory or other expenses, they need funding. Funding also has become one challenge. On what basis the agencies will fund you? That if they are not getting any benefit, that one company which is just producing some products, so that you will have to ensure that you are contributing something new, and you will just give some new design, some new product to them. So that way you will get funding. So in that way also you need to be very competitive. That is also a challenge. And a researcher now, because you see, research should just go in a slow space. It should not be very fast. That there must not be much of a stress. If the researcher will be stressed, the researcher must de-stress himself. There should not be any pressure, because with stress, the research pace will be slowed down. So that is why that there must be sufficient time and there must be sufficient scope for doing research. So one must not be stressed. And then the individual researcher must, with his research, must show that he is different. He is different means he is different to the other researchers, that he is doing something good, that he is doing something different, very much significant somewhere or other from others. That way he is an innovation. He is a different kind of research. He is a research, different kind of research. So that means one must show his or her excellence as a researcher. So that is also a challenge. One has to be a researcher, good researcher or excellent researcher, having some impact on society, on the world as a whole. And then as a significant professional file, researchers, the professional is significant personal file also, that he has so many of patents, so many of this patent registration, and so somebody having so many patents, all registered patents. So positively is a good researcher, and say that also, that how innovative he is, that will be this thing. Again, at academic level also, to become one good researcher, there is also that one has to struggle. that because you see now it is easy. You just Google one topic, you will find some sources, something for study, this, that. Earlier days, you see, individual researcher in social science, what they are doing is just library shelf. You search, and you will have to get one book, voluminous, big books. You will have to study it. You will have to take down notes. So much of effort. That is why I was just mentioning 250 sources in UFO literature. So after you do that only, you will just get an idea of your topic, that in what particular way you can just do your research. And also in the same way, from the same literature, you will also getting one proper methodology. That is also a challenge, that because methodology, you will adopt take one method, and finally you will just progress with your research. Finally, you will find that that method is not helping you. You need to use another method for your study. So getting one right method also, choosing one right method also, very much challenge now. And then you see this research, where there is a collaborative research, to find your other research participant with you, and also research, place of research, the institution you will have to choose where you can just say undertake your research. That is also a great challenge now. And then say throughout the research, some motivation is necessary, because sometimes also you get demotivated. You are working hard, finally you are not getting anything, you are struggling. So you need to, because there will be some success, there will be failure also. In spite of all that, you need to just have a sufficient motivation in yourself, because you may not get motivation from others. You will have to self-motivate yourself. Unless you motivate yourself and have a lot of patience and endeavor, then you cannot just progress. Then motivation is very much necessary, and the data you are collecting to deal with that also, process and analyze. And finally, the support for all your research. You need to get overall support, that you will not be discouraged at any point of time, that it is very much necessary. Without support, to just continue and successfully complete your research is a challenge. So these are some of the trends and challenges. And then research itself is also a challenge, because any kind of research, it is a challenge to the researcher. So say it's time now. Then I hope that if I conclude here, or if I may continue for some time, I don't know. So, but I finished my time, whatever was allotted to me. Thank you. But if necessary, I can continue some few minutes also. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
you please continue, sir.
Yes. Thank you. So then, then this research, I pointed out that it should not begin abruptly, it should not end abruptly, because whatever at one point of time, because you see in the new education policy, this internship and then this dissertation, in almost all the degrees, it's there. That through internship and through dissertation writing, you will get some exposure to research. And if the same thing is there as a projects children do in the school, and that should be there from the very, I already mentioned, from the very KG stage, when the children, they just finish, end their time in play, also in a game only. So from that stage, if we can just make them do something. Just see, children are very creative in their childhood. When 2-3 little children will get together, they will start playing, and playing, they will be doing something that nobody teaches them on their own. That means they are so much imitative. They see things in the family when they are just growing with so many people. They see certain things. And you see, earlier days when television was not there, this is other things, mobile, social media, all these tools are not there. So they are just doing in a different way. But you just see through this television, mobile, and other things, now we have just come to a different world. They are learning something different. But if you have the experience of those days when children, they are not exposed to all those things, little children, and they are doing some game that with the sand, with the dust, with the stones, with the sticks, with the leaves, with all these ordinary things. Say they are just playing. So how they are so much imitative, and they are so much also say creative. They do something. So if we need to see it in child psychology. So if they have that sort of creativity in the childhood, they grow with that. If that is that, then why when we are just bringing them to academic institutions, why we can just say imbibe in them, we just inculcate in them some ways to be more creative. So now NCERT and others, so they are giving to these people to just design the syllabuses. But that need to be used in the new education policy. Emphasis is laid on that we must start this culture of research from the very KG classes, from the preschool classes, that they will just start. And so we are talking about good academic research practices. Now UGC is giving guidelines now. But you see, why there is bad? And this is bad, how it crept into our academics. How it crept into bad. Bad means manipulation. That is plagiarism. So stealing others' property and making it our own. So this kind of a selfishness, how it came. Why couldn't we just inculcate it? We cannot see. We generally see the 5 fingers. They are not equal. Of course, more or less in all the different individuals, some say more or less somebody is very much blessed with some skills, some innovations, although things some is less blessed. But you see, all are not born poets or born writers. But you see, some are also, Rabindranath Tagore, who got Nobel Prize, he was not a born writer, born poet, but he practiced and he became a great poet, Vishwaguru, Vishwakavi. So that throughout the world, he became great. So it's through practice only. Practice makes man perfect. So we must create the culture of a practice, good practices from the very beginning. But you see, in the middle, if we will start in the middle or at the end, so it will not be very much impactful. So if we want to bring impact into just this research, good impact, and make it healthy, that's something bad. That means say all the researches which is productive and giving us some products for our own use, for our own growth, which are there, it should be maximum for our good, for the welfare of the humanity, from the welfare of the world. But if there is competition, that is good. But competition is not there to kill others and reign over others. It's not like that. If at the cost of others, if we need to survive, that survival is not good. That survival should not happen. So if we want to survive, if we want to great, we must become great with others. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That the whole world, if it can be one family, and we must do good to each other, then that way we can grow good, become better, and our research will be impactful, good, researchful, and it will be helping us for infinity. It will continue to help. But say we need not to become selfish. So we must do away with our selfishness to become a good researcher. We must just help each other. If we will help others, the other will come forward to help you positively. Somebody may be a narrow-minded, somebody may have some narrow-mindedness, but you can also try your best to do away with that narrow-mindedness in others, because you see, you can make people realize also their mistakes through your own behavior. So that is why we must grow with becoming good, seeing good, doing good. So if we do that, then we'll achieve the great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable speech, sir. Really, it was very useful to us. Thank you for your informative, interesting, and enlightening speech, sir. Thank you for your valuable presence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving valuable. Thank you, sir, for giving valuable notes on research. We came to know what are the problems and challenges may arise while doing research and how to overcome it. We follow your words to follow the traditional research and establish in the present day research doings and make it as a trend. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. You have said us right. There are more than 7 wonders in the world. A good oratory session, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Feedback time. I cordially welcome the participant to give their feedback. Or else if you have any queries, you can ask, sir.
Now the forum is open to the participants. If you have any queries, you can ask, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, participants. Ma'am,
Yeah,
shall
I think
move
no
to-
queries, da. You can proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
To vote of
Okay, ma'am.
thanks.
Okay, ma'am. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I would like to call Ms. S. Srividya, Assistant Professor in English, Trinity College for Women, to propose her vote of thanks. Welcome,
Good
you, ma'am.
afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Good
yes.
afternoon, everyone. I think I am audible. Gratitude marks the end of events, yet we were the first of worldly civilizations to register gratitude. I now take this opportunity to thank our management, the management of Trinity College for Women, Honorable Founder P.K. Sengodan, Honorable Secretary K. Naluswamy, Honorable Principal Dr. M.R. Lakshmi Narayanan, Honorable Academic Director Dr. Arasu Parameswaran, Honorable Administrative Officer N.S. Senthil Kumar, and Miss S. Poornima, the convener of this tremendous FDP, and Dr. Sanjayan of Edugroom India Foundation, Kochi, Kerala, and our first session chief guest, Professor Rajat Kumar, Director, National Institute of Technology, Mizoram, and his title, Challenges of Effective Teaching for the 21st Century Generation, Some Thoughts. And he gave us the importance of student-centered education and the most modern teaching methods. And in the second session, we have our honorable chief guest, the Professor Nigamananda Swami, and sir, you gave us recent trends and challenges in research. You reminded us of our heritages of the great Nalanda and Takshashila. You rightly pointed in research culture. And I do thank all our colleagues and aspiring participants and my dear colleagues of the English department and the bright birds of Trinity College for Women. Thank you once again. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madams. Thank you, one and all. We shall wind up now.
Yes, ma'am. It was a pleasure being with you all today. Thank you so much for gracing this event. Thank you. Thank you all.